Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles live on KwingsLetsPlays. This is a full walkthrough brought to you by Capcom, who provided a copy for review, walkthrough, and live streaming purposes. So today, we are doing the fourth case of the second game, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures Resolve number 2. Although, this is actually case number 9. If you're going in terms of like all the games, like as one giant collection. So, yep. So today we'll be starting the Twisted Karma and his last bow.
My music was bothering me.
Music wasn't bothering me. Whoa.
Right. Hello, people. How's it going, everyone?
See if we get a cutscene. Yep.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
But Iris hasn't been able to publish the other books, so how would she connect that to the Baskervilles?
If you guys sent us a letter on our what is it called, email site, we will try to get to it when we have a chance. We'll try to look through it, but there's a lot of stuff that we have to look on the back end for that, so we won't be able to do it till in a couple days or something. Yeah. All right. 8 days after the earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory.
We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. What were they doing in a nice hotel? Oh, because there was an Ace Attorney game that took place in a hotel. That's why. 1st of November, 10:24 a.m., the Great Hotel Foyer. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment.
All right. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time.
Huh? Susie hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised.
Yeah, just so you guys know, if I do see people, like, arguing or whatever in the chat, no matter who's on what side, I'm just gonna probably delete all the comments, just so everyone can just enjoy the stream. Thank you. Alright, the truth about Kazuma-sama's father!
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a problem.
Do you suppose my father knew?
That he was actually the mass murderer, the professor, you mean? Probably. I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance I'd say, I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they?
Yes, that's true.
Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well?
That's right. But for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it.
It probably means he knows then. About Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, and he's regained his memory now, too. There she is!
Oh, Father!
Hello, Susie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted that you've arrived safe and sound.
Hello, Mr. Naruhodou. You're very kind to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh no, not at all. It's my pleasure. Ah, we've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London. You know, the news has crossed the seas to our ears. It has? Whoa! I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much, Your Honor. Who is this man? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before? I take it from your expression that you can't place me. In that case, how about a little reminder? A firm tap should do it?
Oh my gosh, she's wearing English clothes.
Yes. A firm tap, what does that mean? Here we go then.
Gavel.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodou, guilty! Ah! Oh, it's you're... It's the judge, dude. Ta-da. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodou. Yes, it's the judge. Your... Excellency? Okay, sweetie. Thank you. Susie time.
Hello, Judge Jikoku, how are you? It's been a long time.
Good. You remembered, that really did the trick then, didn't it? Guilty!
Wow.
Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time.
Yeah.
So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years.
That's the guy who's almost about to sentence you to death, Luke.
Yep. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited into an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Shishiro? What are you talking about, Eugen? Of course, the judge! He must complete the set! He's the only man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar. Well, are all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your minstrel status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Aha! I knew you were jealous. Sorry? Minstrel? What? Ah, yes. You didn't know, Shishiro. Here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on this study tour. Guilty as charged. Oh, well, thank you. Can we put the gavel away now? He's really very bit as important as he looks, though, I gather. Yes, now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? Yes. It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. Yep. They knew everything. Yeah, could you tell us more about it? Oh, I don't think they want to. That's not a fun expression. Armband.
Wait, so England could put one of their people to death, no problem, but they couldn't even put one of the England people to death? Wow.
Yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it?
It just seems like...
Well, I mean,
critical.
the people that they killed, it was a visiting professor, so the person who the Japanese guy killed was 5 royals. So, he's not going to be extradited to Japan to face, you know. Also, they see Japan as a backwater country, so...
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Exactly. Professor Mikotoba, I wonder, could I show you something? Why do you seem so nervous? I suppose because I'm a student showing something to a professor? That's always quite nerve-wracking. Well, I'm sorry I perturb you in that way, but anyway, I'm afraid I had nothing useful to say about that, really. Oh, okay, well, that's what happened. Okay. Your journey from Japan. So, how was your voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. Yes, it wasn't as bad as when we first came here 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if you wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean of the rest of our lives. This time, we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
Ah, you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris.
We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. Attend. I'm very proud of you, Father.
It is thanks to Shishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to integrate himself with the British's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of a appendage by default. Haha. Speak for yourself, Eugen. You were close friends with a professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. No. There's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back, no. Kazuma's father, I suppose. No, they're actually talking about John Wilson right now.
Yeah.
The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British royalty, was actually Kazuma's dad, wasn't he? That is correct. Genshin Asogi. Genshin?
You knew, I presume, Father?
Yes. He was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew about it, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what happened, even in our homeland.
Maybe he was trying to get rid of corruption or something.
I don't know. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his dad? No, of course not. He was told his father passed away from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh? Why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then one day he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there.
Because his dad did.
Oh,
do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Okay.
Oh.
Something else came to light in the trial the other day, actually. Oh, what? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma's since turned up in London working as the apprentice of Lord Van Zeeks. What? What? That's news to us. So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then? Ooh, something's afoot. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during the voyage from Great Britain in January. Amber?
But he didn't die. He's alive, as you knew, didn't you, Father?
In actual fact, no, I did not know. Is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong? He mysteriously vanished? We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you say? I never dared to even dream of it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now.
Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again in London, he didn't know who either of us were either. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous, isn't it? I wonder why Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Kazuma has been these past few days. Would it be wrong for us to go and visit him? Your time in Britain. Whoop. That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Yujin here, Genshin, and myself, who were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today. I can tell you that. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation, huh? Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yumi University at the time. You know, young lady?
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy, and practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an eerie place sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Oh!
Wow.
No more talk of graves, please. Very often there was no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all, after that last case. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Chadden was his name? He was a good man. Yes, but then of course in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome of murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at that secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice it to say that after the trial we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was lost cause, sadly.
Oh, no.
Sadness. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes. We'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long.
They were talking forever. I'll call for the porter then. I'll just wait here. Okay, may I say something about Susato or no?
Sure.
Oh, really? Okay. Somebody yesterday was trying to tell me that Susato is part English, so it would make sense she had an English accent. But it's like, even if she was part English by blood, she grew up in Japan. So I don't think that... I think the whole reason why she had an English accent with a voice actor is because they voiced it in England. I don't think that has anything to do with...
I don't...
Like, you wouldn't magically get an English accent because you have some English blood in you. Because I am part English in my DNA, and I don't have an English accent.
I don't believe these are, like, UK actors.
Oh, okay.
They're just trying to sound Victorian. Like,
right.
Everybody would have studied the Queen's English, so you would have an accent, a little bit, when you were speaking English. Because, like, America isn't the one that reached out to Great Britain, or, America's not the one who reached out to Japan at this point in time. It's, England.
I know, but they were trying to tell me that she had an English accent because she's part English.
That might be a spoiler, though, so I'm just gonna not pay attention to that.
I don't think she is part English, but I'm just saying, even if she was, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Never mind. I was trying to say something, and I guess I said nothing.
Susie's gone off on a run or something. I'd like to talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best, sir. Naruhodo. Huh? I hope you'll keep an eye on Susie for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been. Huh? Oh no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Ha ha ha. Well, I do appreciate you being here for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down. Sorry? Wendy? What? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study here in Britain, as you know. The year Susie was born. Yeah, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes, Susie hinted at something like that.
It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man, and it was then that Shishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. Probably lost his wife. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that is also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. Ah, one other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? Well, the thing is, Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry that took so long.
Miss Susie! Wait, it's that carriage guy from the, first game.
Now then, allow us to take your bags.
Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir! That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Oh, quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Ah, well, yes, of course. That's cute.
Very cute.
The only time anime has been used in this. Hello.
I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. And guys and girls, just so you know, sometimes I do it, like, if there's a lot of, like, back and forth and people can't see the chat, I will have to time people out. I'm never mad at anybody. It's just hard for me to keep looking at my phone. So I'm sorry if I'm a little savage in the chat, but I still love you guys. I don't know if that makes sense. Luke knows I'm savage and mean sometimes, too. It's really made Father very happy, I think.
Oh, well, I'm pleased then, but we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something.
Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, in general, guys, if you have a comment, like, please, just, like, you know, you just have to leave it once, and then, like, if we can't get your message, just leave it to us on social media or in the comments section. That's, okay, I'm done.
Alright. I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask him about him. Okay, so can we actually explore the hotel at all? Just relax, Amber. Don't bring it to work.
No, what? Bring what to work?
I don't know. Look at those cases just left there on that trolley. Aren't they worried about thieves? I know I would be.
Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry. He's obviously keeping an eye on everything.
Ah, so it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted. Oi! Oh, sorry, Mr. Porter. Why did the porter give me such a scathing look just now? Do you suppose...
Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes.
Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know. Then maybe change your outfit, Ryunosuke. You've been here a year now, dude.
That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report there to sign in for their stay.
Oh, so do you think that's the head clerk behind the desk there?
Yes, I'm sure it must be.
I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this, even for a little while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like?
If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it might bankrupt our homeland.
Oh, that's true. London gives the word expensive a whole new meaning. Wow, Susie is so practical. Okay, so is there anything
Yeah.
else we can click on?
She's definitely not one of those girls that's gonna go spend $3,000 on shoes.
I'd be curious to know how much a hotel room like this would have costed back in, you know, Victorian era. Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? They have gathered every gem in the world for that, I think.
It's called a chandelier, I believe. Chandelier. It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this.
Oh! So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room?
It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually throwing the light, Ryunosuke.
Ah. If I tried to hang something like that from the ceiling in the office, it'd be scrapping on the floor. Or scraping.
I think perhaps chandeliers aren't for you, Mr. Naruhodo.
That's true. That's the Crystal Tower, I bet. Look at that! It's a picture of the Crystal Tower. I knew it.
Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement in so many ways.
There's 20-meter tall chimney on the bathhouse near my lodgings at the Yumi University. The attendant there is always boasting that it's the tallest object in the neighborhood.
I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris, there's a tower that's 300 meters tall?
The Eiffel Tower? What? How many times taller than the chimney at the Yumi Hot Springs is that? And if it's that tall, how does it draw up properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely.
I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruhodo.
A bathing tower? Interesting.
Wow, a bathing tower sounds interesting.
I wouldn't want that. Too tall.
I love hotels and how pretty they are in the lobbies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the rooms and it's just like a bed and nothing else there.
Depends on the hotel, though. Like, I would say the Intercontinental had, like, both nice... Well, I don't know how I felt about the downstairs, but the rooms were nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And that one hotel we stayed in, it had a very interesting downstairs that was kind of, like, neon and crazy, and the rooms were, like, all whitish or something.
They must have to pay a lot for flowers in hotels.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the Grand Hotel. We need to go to... Should probably return home first. So we're going to talk to Sholmes, and then Sholmes... Strongheart, I think? The 1st of November, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Wouldn't it be... oh, never mind. Ah, yes. The spade! The spade is still here, look!
Please, Mr. Naruhodo, it's not a spade. As I think you well know, it's a shovel.
It didn't take long to reignite that old argument, did it? Oh.
Oh, I have an idea. Let's give the implement a name, like Professor Hairbrain names his tools.
Oh, I never thought of doing that.
From now on, then, let's call it Ryunosuke.
Wait, what? No. It's clearly much more of a Susie. The old argument has taken a new and unexpected turn, it seems. Okay. Arguing about the shovel and the spade again. She's tired of dealing with him, so she just calls it a Ryunosuke now. It's kind of funny.
Luigi44, we're very thankful that you sent us a note, but we can't check it right now, and, you know, Luke does talk to people in the chat once in a while, but usually when he's playing this game, he doesn't have time because he has to read the voices. But we will definitely look at your note, buddy, and thank you so much for watching. Alright, the steam is rising gently from the kettle, as always.
Yes, it doesn't feel right unless... Yes, it doesn't feel right somehow unless it is. But the steam has an unusual scent today.
Perhaps the sweet potatoes that I brought back from Japan with me are ready. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, I heard that you know.
Tears of joy, Miss Susie, from my mouth. Why would you gulp like that? Gulp is usually not something you want to do in front of people because it means like, uh-oh. Doesn't usually mean something of joy.
Yeah.
Whenever you serve me tea, it always takes me back to Japan.
Oh, thanks for the... Thanks for the super chat, VG Starshine, or VG Shine. How do you guys like Inspector Gregson as a character? He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Thanks, VG Shine. Yeah. Okay, great.
He's supposed to be the Lestrade character, but he's not, because there really is a character named Lestrade in this, so...
Yeah, alright. I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I always do try to pick out a less bitter matcha for you.
She does often serve up an unusually mellow blend, it's true. But the anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway.
It's very difficult for you, isn't it?
Okay. Check over here. You see? I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers as always.
You really must tidy it up, Mr. Naruhodo. No more excuses.
But Miss Susie, the way I see it, all these pictures and papers building up on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are, so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences.
In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again, and I feel that joy renewed.
Still can't beat her in an argument, even though I'm the lawyer here. Nope, you're not going to, because she set her sights on you, so get used to it. Did they do anything to the doll? Nope, they still haven't filled in the doll. The doll is still wanting a winking look. I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye filled in.
Yes, I wonder.
Well, you should know, Susie. I entrusted that task to you.
The truth is, I have already decided when that will be.
What? Really? When?
That's my little secret.
Probably when...
The Daruma doll looks creepy, though. It's frowning.
It's winking.
Looks creepy. My desk is just as it was before I left.
Sumi ink and calligraphy brush, even though we're in England now. That strikes me as typically you, Miss Susie, and typically not you at the same time.
Well, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things to come out of the West in the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up on my brush just yet.
And anyway, Susie can write more neatly with a brush than most people can with a pen.
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Okay. Let's see how our little aquarium's doing.
All the sea life seemed very content in there, I must say.
I've never noticed something recently, actually. The
Anemones.
The anemones breed at a most extraordinary rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a mystery why the whole seabed isn't buried in a mountain of them, actually.
Oh, how splendid! That really is a mystery, isn't it?
I wish there was someone here to explain Susie's strange reaction to that. Okay. Whoop. Your room has, lies across the hall, undisturbed, of course. I don't suppose I'd be permitted to see the inside now that you're back, though, would I?
You know very well that only Iris is allowed inside, Ryunosuke.
Yeah, I heard you two giggling together in there again last night.
You can visit Mr. Sholmes in his room, Mr. Naruhodo.
Last time I did that, he tried to convince me to drink some strange concoction he's mixed up.
That would be weird, though.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Giggling.
All right.
That's weird that she won't allow... Well, actually, that's probably a really good rule, especially because she's way out here in the middle of nowhere without her dad around.
Yep. It's good news that Professor Mikotoba arrived safely, isn't it?
Yes, it's wonderful. And the fact that Father has been invited to this important international event really makes me very proud to be his daughter.
Your father, Judge,
You said you were going to call him Goku before.
Judge Goku! And Kazuma, of course. There's an ever-increasing number of Japanese here in Britain's capital, isn't there?
Well, yes, I suppose. But London does have a population of 6 million people, so I think we're still a minority.
Susie's father, who came here visiting students 16 years ago in Kazuma, and it's almost as if some great power has been at work drawing them here across the ocean to London again. And I feel as though the waters are starting to swell again now. Okay, so let's go. We mentioned something about Lord Strongheart before. So let's go speak with him.
Okay, sweetheart.
Why didn't he tell the people? Oh! What's going on here? 1st of November, British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office.
Wow, he's mad at what's his name.
Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard. I see. Excellent work, thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Van Zeek's doing here?
My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say?
This place is stifling enough as it is. I really don't need any more tensions. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me.
Wow.
No, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. Wait a second, I always wear black.
From now on, you must dress in white, from head to toe, whenever you come here, Ryunosuke.
Now then, Mr. Naruhodou. Yes, my lord, I'm right here. Kill me now. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too late and too hot in here for you. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I never expected a room with such perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly, freaking me out. As you are no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today. I hear, madam?
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited.
Good. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord Van Zeeks. I will attend at once.
He's looking at us weird.
I don't like you.
He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he?
I know, but I haven't done anything to him, have I? Recently?
I think he's mad because he got in trouble for bringing that one lady to the stand.
These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in a spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service?
Mr. Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Scythe.
Oh, of course. I thought he was talking about his arm. I'm terribly sorry about that. I just, fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with any further. That would be a lot easier if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. Lord Van Zeeks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though, disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, missing?
What's become of Kazuma-sama now?
Oh, I guess...
I kind of forgot why she killed the guy already. I can't even remember it because
she was being blackmailed.
Oh, yeah, because of something that she did a long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was for, but... Oh, well.
No, he was blackmailing her for medical stuff.
Oh.
So, I mean, she was being blackmailed by the other guy, and then she used that opportunity to kill the other guy. Because he was going to die anyway, but he was supposed to die from a broken neck. Or something else, I don't know.
But he didn't, so she did murder him.
She had to kill him, yeah. The Forensic Science Symposium. Not long ago, the visitor numbers of the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million?! Are there even that many people in the world?
As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital of Tokyo is 2 million!
I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibit's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations, my lord. The 20th century will see the wholesale adaptation of forensic investigation techniques, and cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium has to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire.
Oh!
In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the world.
But why does it have to be, though?
He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something to behold.
You're every bit as passionate in your own way, Ryunosuke. I'm sure.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about the future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. Oh no. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago. Experimentingly to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, it was steadily occurring an impressive record of achievements. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to full-blown forensic investigation department. And, can you not do that now? Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers.
Oops.
6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now.
Oops.
This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Unintended repercussions of our trial.
But she killed the guy.
Yep.
We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though.
Of course not. We should be grateful to both of you. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Oh, that's ominous. The missing apprentice. About Lord Van Zeek's apprentice. Ah, yes. That came as a surprise to me, I must say. That you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeek's in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large vessel.
Oh my! So he stowed away to get here? Oh wow!
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeek's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? I didn't want to be a burden to Lord Van Zeek's with some tiresome explanation about why he had an Eastern appearance. Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask? He was proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zeek's. I have high hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea. But I believe he's left London for the time being.
Oh!
I take it you also didn't know? That man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. Genshin Asogi, yeah. Kazuma's father's crimes. What we learned from the trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's dad was... yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
There were such awful murders, and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon! Wow.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. Oh my. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in our country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London. Oh, no one in Japan knows. Wow.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? The majority of the man's victims were blight on the royalty of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole.
Huh? They were bad.
Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed anyway.
They were bad people?
Right, I see, but it was still murder, wasn't it?
Maybe it was self-defense.
I don't think so. He might have taken the law in his own hands. They said he was a police officer.
It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey?
Ah! Interesting.
Oh, wow.
That's
weird.
All he has to say. Now what?
Vigilante.
Where?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
right.
He became a vigilante, maybe. But one that kills, like, 89 Batman.
I guess that's
I hope
everything.
Kazuma isn't a vigilante.
Ah! Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we're moving on. Nothing else we can do here. And the only places we can go is we went to the consultants agency, we went to the Chief Justice, we were at the hotel. So then, Sholmes it is! That's gonna be a long endeavor. It always is. Gotta get to my detective voice now. 1st of November, Sholmes Suite.
I don't know.
What was that?
Oh, a man screaming in a most unflattering way.
Do you think... Could it have been Mr. Sholmes?
Oh my, I do hope not. Ah! I don't do it anymore.
Mon ami! Stop this disgraceful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hat, it's bright red. And their hair, what?
I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes.
Oh.
Oh, right, you two. You're coming with me now, down to the clink. No, not prison. It's dark and damp. I don't like it.
The darkness, it is my friend. I'm not scared.
But you're all scared of the dark.
Shut your mouth, you idiot. If you sit quietly in the dark and plan our next daring est. Ice.
I do not like this. I do not like it. Well, top. Yeah, well, finish the down at the yard. Now get moving, you lot. Bye then, kitty. Have fun. Oh, yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, you great detective.
What just happened?
Ha! Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she, Ryunosuke? Oh, Susie and Ryuno!
Hello, Iris. We're home.
Where did you find Daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Oh, yes, of course.
Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, all that remains now is the greatest of problems known to man. But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order. Don't you believe so, my dear fellows?
Sholmes, what's going on with your hair? You don't even look normal. That looks like you painted it red.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb of such like on my face? Not so much on your face, no, as your head, I'd say.
Oh, Thanks for the super chat, Silver Leo said that doll is known as a wish granter.
Ah.
That was a while ago, though.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
guys. I haven't looked at the chat for a while. Sorry. Alright. Come along then, everyone. I brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea.
That was weird.
Whatever is going on here today?
Ah, in that case, let us sit and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. But why is your hair all red? You're 2 visitors.
Mr. Sholmes, who are the 2 gentlemen that were here before?
Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And then the mood takes me. I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions.
When the mood takes you, Mr. Sholmes?
All manner of infractions? But when such fellows as their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out.
Oh my! You were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes?
But quickly I devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young lady detective ally.
You should have asked Gregson to come too. We could have an arresting tea party.
I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is constantly in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha! I have it! A bungler! That's the word! Ha 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 ha! It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those red-haired guys have been up to no good?
I wonder what the men did.
Okay, the lie you told, the greatest problem. What lie? What was that all about? The greatest problems known to man that you mentioned before?
Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes?
How should I best explain it? Ah, are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere, possibly, maybe?
It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed only 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops.
Wait, what? We were apes? Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it's been our lot to be the mercy of the greatest problem known to man.
Our lot? What is the greatest problem, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, why is that not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent. Huh?
But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Tuspels the other day?
Pshaw, a large sum, you say? 1 potted herb for Iris and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you.
Honestly, Harley, you know that you squandered it.
Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to a man's greatest problem for the coming month at last. And what was the answer, Sholmes? Why, there is substantial clue before your very eyes.
Don't tell me. Let me see.
His hair. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what's in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. In the end, huh?
He even dyed his eyebrows, though.
It's been staring at me both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation.
How did he get it that red, though? I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Nope. Thanks for the hint, but I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes any further. Why? Can't we ask him about his hair, please? No, I suppose not. Whoopsies. Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us... I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are... what? Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that.
Or want, yeah.
It didn't look
Means
like
they
want.
don't lie.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be...
The case aboard the ship in January?
No, it's basically almost pronounced the same as want. It's just... It just means a different feeling. Instead of they want to lie, it's they want to lie. So if it's W-O-N-T, it means they don't lie, but if it's W-A-N-T, it means they do lie. It means completely different things.
But it's pronounced the same. Okay.
Pretty much the same, yeah.
Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril.
Oh no!
Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew, but how? After they'd carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. I then made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him to leave him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse.
Oh, how horrible!
It was necessary to find some material to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why'd you do that in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you, I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong.
Oh!
I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes. I still don't understand why he did what he did. That's all he has to tell us?
Thanks again for the super chat, Silver Leo, and all the super chats today.
Okay. What is going on? Well, I can't... I guess we have to examine his entire house again. Let's see. Let's try this again. I finally managed to remember this behemoth's name, the Great Analytoscope.
I don't think it was here when I left for Japan, was it?
Oh, is that right?
Yes, because it was with the pawnbroker.
Ah, of course.
Oh, that's given me a wonderful idea, Ryunosuke. I could pawn everything that's on your desk. The office would be tidy at last.
Wait, what? No, don't even joke about it, Miss Susie. Those are my, Oh, you are joking, aren't you?
I'm gonna go take pictures and put them on eBay.
Doesn't exist. This is Mr. Sholmes' famous violin. The one he found being sold for a song at the pawnbrokery. What's it called again? Saudi something?
Oh yes. This wonderful instrument features in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. It's a world-famous Stradivarius.
What?
Stradivarius, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you even trying now?
We'll come back to this another time, I think. Okay, I guess the globe. There are all sorts of these shelves, chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
It looks as though it might topple, and yet it doesn't. The epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance.
I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under my strain, though.
It looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray.
I really don't get it. Okay, so is there anything else over here? What is it, Amber?
Nothing. I mean, you want me to... Oh.
Okay, so I don't know why the game's not letting us continue. I guess we're gonna have to literally click on everything.
I guess we have to look at everything in the room.
I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen ever since we arrived in this country. Although, I do yearn for Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under the warm, blanketed table is so comforting.
Do be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't mistakenly put your legs into the fire, will you? You'd suffer terrible burns, you know.
I worry sometimes about how Susie sees me. Wait, no. This is all dialogue they've done and other stuff, so they haven't even updated the dialogue. Ah, there's a newspaper here.
This looks like last week's edition.
Huh? What's the article circled in red?
It's in an advertisement column. It says, "To the Red-Headed League."
The Red-Headed League? What's that?
I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but...
Ah, is something on my face? Clearly this has something to do with that lively hair.
It's
the
too
Red-Headed
red.
League
It's
article has been added into the court record.
If somebody actually has hair that red in real life, I'm gonna apologize, but I just don't feel like people actually have hair that red. I could be wrong, though. But I just don't think it's possible.
Let's see if we can talk to Sholmes about this.
That's really red.
That's very red.
That's very bright red. Honestly, it looks good. It looks a little... I think Sholmes looks way better as a blonde. I think he looked great as a blonde. I think the redhead is just too much. Like, it's just like, whoa, this is just too much to handle right here.
Red-Headed League. Get $4. Get $4 per week if you're a redhead? What?
Oh, he needs money.
Oh.
He needs money, so he's getting... Oh, it's kind of like when people pay you money. Like, did you know that you can actually get money for, like, you can go to a website and, like, you can wear a t-shirt around and wear their t-shirt and get paid for it to advertise their thing or put a picture on your car of whatever their thing is. So it's kind of like, I don't know why they would do the redheaded thing, though, but that's really interesting.
It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, to the Red-Headed League, Does that strike you in some way, Mr. Naruhodo? I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair. Ah, So, at last you've learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo.
Wow.
Sorry. In the first instance, and quite indispensable, observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut.
Yeah, if you were like 40 feet away, you could see it.
So then allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast?
$4 a week.
$4 a week for the Red-Headed League. Okay. So what is this Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled? Oh no.
What?
We're dropping frames like crazy.
Sorry. It's maybe I put my foot up there?
Probably. 1 second, guys and gals.
Sorry.
Has the stream been dropping around, guys? Because we're at 4,000 drop frames. So we're going to have to restart the stream, which should be okay, but I just need to double check some stuff.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's dropping frames to me. I'm watching it. Everyone says they can see it. Drago says I can see it. Yeah, we're having issues with drop frames, guys. Yeah, It says it's fine. Maybe because my foot was up there. Why is it my foot does it, but you can put your foot in, it's fine? Alright guys, we're just trying to figure out what's wrong with the frames that are dropping on our stream. Just FYI guys, if for some reason, you know, we do have to ban somebody for spam or whatever, then we'll look into it and we'll try to unban you by tomorrow or something, but if it keeps happening, then we'll probably have to ban you, but we don't want to really ban anyone forever, but I do appreciate the mods handling it, so I don't have to handle it and keep looking at the chat, so I very much appreciate you guys handling that. Thank you. Just FYI guys, spam is really hard for us to deal with because it makes people leave and we can't really, I have to keep checking on the chat, so I appreciate the mods helping me out with that.
You guys said you haven't seen drop frames this entire time? Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. If it starts messing around, then I will reset the stream.
Okay.
So what is this red-headed league that seems to be the subject of advertisement you've circled?
People said his hair could maybe get that red, but I don't know.
No. You noticed it in the paper, then? That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's pay rent. It was? How? Well, according to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition of becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me.
But do you have to have natural red hair?
But listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary, £4 a week.
Oh my, £4 a week?
But why? What are they paying people for? That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement.
But surely every red-headed person in the country would be flocking to join in that case.
You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once.
So will I, just on the off chance.
That might be stretching point, I think, there, Susie.
It's very cool that somebody's brother has, like, very dark hair but a little red in it. Very cool.
The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see.
Oh, I see. So, once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can. But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away.
Yes! It wasn't particularly lucky for that red-headed person in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes.
So you decided to join in his place? Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. So why? Why did I have to go so wrong? What? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruhodou, though it pains me to admit it. A blunder? What is your blunder?
What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes?
I'm glad you asked, Miss Susie. What you see atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry?
What?
I was conducting some research into the method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves, and in the course of my work I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one's hairs flame like red.
He drank something?
Would you like to try it? It'll make your hair on your very body perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass.
I would totally do that. I think that would be awesome. Well, Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears.
Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say... He drank something that made his hair red.
But of course. To earn £4 per week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. Wow.
What was in what you drank?
That degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely.
So anyway, Harley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street for the Red-Headed League for interviewing prospective new members.
So what went wrong? The whole park was choked with red-headed folk like a Coast Coster's Orange Burrow? What?
IDK.
I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?
Oh, so he didn't get
Well, he's
in.
recognizable, so...
Oh, because he's a celebrity. They already knew who he was, so he couldn't...
So naturally I had no choice but to reply, "Shh, don't give me away." After which, I could do little else but turn and leave.
Oh.
Then this morning when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police.
Oh dear, what a disaster for Harley and those two redheads.
Okay.
Wait, he turned them in because... Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Here is my guest now, my latest client, with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Harley.
Remember this, Iris. We are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating, save locating runaway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
Oh dear, I'm afraid Harley can look a little taut, especially just before the rent is due.
Oh, wow, he's freaking out because of money. Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Oh, please, Mr. Sholmes! Please find my husband! He's run away!
Oh my gosh, it's
Sure.
to upset me?
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, a personal matter, my apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I didn't say a word! Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea if you please.
Of course, Mr. Sholmes. I mean Harley.
What's the matter, Miss Susie?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure that I've seen her somewhere before, very recently.
Yes, now that you mention it, she was a juror.
As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure.
Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam.
He's probably like $1 trillion.
Being offered a case to solve is reward enough.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence.
You need to eat, dude! I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer. However, for contingent reasons...
In case he can't pay rent.
I trust you remember your words also.
If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be...
Oh, me?
What am I about to tell? I should like to communicate in the strictest of confidence. You understand?
Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything with which you may say to me.
Ah, I see.
I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Why did I ever get my hopes up?
We could just leave the room. Like, I don't mind leaving for a second. Like, she doesn't want to tell us when we're here. She doesn't want to say it in front of anyone else. I find this odd. This is very stressful. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Forgive me for asking, Miss Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps?
Oh my!
Pshaw, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion.
He's trying to say all English women look the same, but we have seen her.
Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week?
I knew I recognized her. Yep.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand, oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine.
I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now.
It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean.
I'm gonna let... What?
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear me. It was frippery, really. Nothing more that I said.
Now look at what you've started, Sholmes. Thank you very much. Ha 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 ha. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner, Naruhodo. Yes. Mr. Vigil. Tell us about your husband, madam.
Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. Aww.
An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married?
It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things.
Oh, gosh!
Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me.
Which would point to the possibility that he's become embroiled in some incident or another.
Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened. Mr. Sholmes, I quite am beside myself with worry. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warder at the prison.
A guard? That is somewhat unusual. Okay. Whoop. Prison warder. So your husband is a prison warder, what?
That's right, yes. Well, actually, in fact, he's the chief warder.
Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as someone of a specialist occupation.
Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out.
Dreadful punishments?
Oh my god.
Does she mean capital punishments? Probably.
And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for the extra responsibility, he is it's hard to say because I'm so distraught.
Rewarded.
Remunerated, darn it, rewarded more handsomely than the other warders.
You just say paid more.
He is paid more than the other warders.
There you go.
Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors.
Ah, yes. I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged?
Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Really? Barclay? Ah, fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that is correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
Ah! No, not again. Lowgate Cemetery? The very place we were discussing in court? That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet undeniable. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Sholmes. I'm afraid you've lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madam, pay no heed. A private matter. She can't really be a This can't be a coincidence, can it?
I feel like I'm gonna get used to Sholmes with red hair, and then it's gonna go back to blonde. And it's gonna freak me
it'll
out.
get back to blonde later. So, the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing?
Please, try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so.
The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened to you?
My dear Miss Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally, but sadly they refuse to listen to my pleas, as my husband has only been missing for 1 day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
In truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. There is no reason why you should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
And furthermore, let me assure you, any chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another mouth has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
Oh, you have my eternal gratitude, Mr. Sholmes. I shall pay any sum that you care to mention at all.
You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. I mean, which is fine, but...
Like, she needs help, though.
Exactly. Thank you for everything you've shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heart-rending report, I'm quite sure.
So soon? How splendid, Mr. Sholmes.
Good news should be delivered earlier. I always say, if you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. Okay, so he got the photograph of Mr. Vigil. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous.
Okay.
Mr. Vigil keeps vigil over the prison.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it every time, Hurley. How do you come up with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two. Are you sure, Hurley?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yeah, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked, at the prison, I mean. Ah, so you've noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of the Barclay prison, so it was renowned among us students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor. And now a warden from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar, isn't it? Indeed. But no, nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? It's the prison governor you want, no doubt the man is equally worried. But, aren't you going yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair!
Aww. It'll wear off, maybe.
Will it?
I don't know.
But didn't you, like, go to Lime Street with that hair? That was quite a different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you excuse me, I'm rather busy.
No, he's embarrassed about his hair.
Yeah, he's gonna have to find a way to get his hair back.
Honestly, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like him.
Of course you are. Oh, well, Susie, off to the prison we go, I believe.
I mean, he could just be like... Oh, I guess he'd have to explain it. So I was thinking, what kind of hair dye did they have back in the 1800s? It must have had lead in it or something.
I don't know. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing into a lonely burial ground. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly above us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. Wow. 1st of November, the prison governor. Nice place. This place is full of hardened criminals. I remember the last time a civilian was down here. And you all want to talk about an inmate to me? Did you know who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Caden. Oh, yes. It's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. An Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yes. Well, there's no... any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh?
What does that even mean?
I
didn't notice another prison next door, sir.
Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... I don't like to be so direct, but... I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious-looking Easterners.
What?
Wow! Now get your foot out of my hair.
So
as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this, huh? That surely means...
I think it's because of the professor case.
You think so too?
Just because of one person that happened to be Japanese, you hate all... That is so wrong.
10 years ago, Genshin Asogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. I might have known. You're still sniffing around about the case, aren't you? You're gents, eh? Part of Professor's great web, no doubt. Nope, not at all. We're just, get on, go before I punch your lights out.
Oh my gosh!
We're going! Clearly the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not gonna get anywhere here, unless we can somehow provide to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us.
Governor Caden!
What are you thinking, Susie?
I feel that the name came up in conversation recently from somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have had some ideas to help us.
Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. I said get out! Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys don't have to... If you guys are from England, you guys don't have to feel bad for being English. Like, this is just a story. It's just a game. Like, they're just... These people happen to be mean to, you know, people from that area because of something that happened. It's just like a story. It's not saying that all English people are like this. And also, remember, guys, this was from the past. This was from the 1800s.
Yep. Governor, could you at least could we show you this? How many times can this man turn his back in a single conversation? Wow. Alright, well that didn't get us anywhere.
Just FYI, guys, it is good to sometimes talk about, like, the way that people have treated people in the past, because it is good to talk about it, then you, like, know that it happened, but it doesn't mean it supports it. It doesn't mean it's saying it's good. It's just saying it happened. Like, it's good to learn about history, then you don't repeat the mistakes. So if you don't realize that this happened, then you will sometimes repeat it. That's all I have to say about that.
Oh, there's the father. And that's Professor Mikotoba over there. Hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where's the judge? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs.
Having only just arrived in the country today, goodness, he is full of energy.
Professor, you mentioned something before. About how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay prison? Oh, Governor Caden, you mean? So it is the same man.
Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners.
Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful if you have the time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable sofa? Now, I'd rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts.
Oh! Could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts?
Oh my god.
How could she know his thoughts, though?
I don't know. Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. Okay. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here is a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully, when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Ah, thank you. The letter of introduction has been written into the court record. Good luck, then. He goes back to reading his paper. Alright. Well, back to the prison we go. Yoink.
Everyone's telling you your controller's low.
Yeah, I'm aware, guys. Thank you, though. Alright, let's try this again.
That is Susato's dad. He's just in a different outfit.
It looks pretty cool. He looks like Watson, though.
Honestly, though, like... Never mind.
If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor, Caden. What's this, then? You pull wool over my eyes? Good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensic laboratory. That Mikotoba? Yeah, exactly, him.
Oh dear. Perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yugen Mikotoba's daughter, Susato.
You're the young man's daughter? And Instinct mentioned that before.
I do apologize.
Ah, well, you best take a seat then. I can offer you a cup of tea, perhaps.
Wow, completely different.
And forget try one of these wee handcuff biscuits.
Handcuff-shaped biscuits.
Okay.
Ah.
Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing, Susie.
I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the onset now. You shouldn't have had to.
He shouldn't have mistreated you for how you looked.
So then, what can I do for you, Hen?
It wasn't your job to tell him.
Well, we're currently investigating a case.
It's one of your warders. You see, he's gone missing. Missing?
That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor.
I haven't heard nothing of the sort, nope. There's no missing persons in my prison.
Oh!
But how can that be?
Yeah, what about the warden?
It's Mr. Daly Vigil, your chief warder.
Hey, Vigil! That's right, his wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him.
Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir?
Aye, of course, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah, well, never mind. I won't talk about it. I don't know. Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison? Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Was? Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he doesn't work here anymore. He left the job.
Oh my!
When was this exactly? Oh, there's a question when it was about. It cannot be much less than 10 years ago now.
What?
10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye. As I mind it, you heard the fellow's name in all that time. That's where he's gone missing, though. But Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it.
Wow.
I think perhaps Mr. Naruhodou, that his wife simply doesn't know.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe he's been getting money somewhere else.
Shady means.
I think she's unaware that he no longer works here.
Or maybe he works at Burger King.
Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yeah, I believe it may be.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodou?
I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago now.
Ah!
Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. Oh my gosh, 10 years ago.
So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position as chief warden 10 years ago, you're telling us. I mean warder. What happened to make him leave the job?
In actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. Sorry? A walk? Aye, that's our word for it in here. A walk to the gallows. Ah, an execution. It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows to tree and observe an executions, you see. Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning.
What did he do?
I'm sorry, but I can't reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post.
He was fired.
But why wouldn't Mrs. Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't know anything about that, I'm afraid.
Wow.
Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
And what would that be, Anne?
That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's?
My thoughts exactly.
He said he couldn't tell you about it, though.
I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm no longer at liberty to answer that.
I see.
Wow.
He can't say anything.
Nope.
My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic science and medicine, but you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Yeah, I can imagine that.
The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable.
Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinners. Still in use today. St. Sinners? That's come up before, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mikotoba and I used to ride in the carriage together and negotiate terms. For more fresh material, I suppose? Aye. And we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts of... Oh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cough biscuits, of course. Okay.
Oh, how charming.
He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable, and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid... I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose. Well... I cannot tell you anything else.
Thank you so much for your time, Governor.
Oh, one more moment before you away then. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison.
What is it?
That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course.
Oh my, are you sure?
Aye. It's no trouble at all. It's not the original, mind you. Vigil's dismissal notice has been entered into the court record. Thank you very much, Governor. Well, in return... Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
so weird.
Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being.
Yeah, I agree. We need to report back to Sholmes with what we found out about Mr. Vigil.
The clock is so creepy.
Very. What will we tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? Well, that he's really missing and he's been doing some pretty shady stuff.
I thought that the way that they handled that was really good, though. Like, making understanding between people that have differences of culture and may, like, have prejudices, instead of, like, in today's world, you would just, like, cancel somebody on Twitter and just, like, basically make them feel like, you know, like, just shame them, which it is a really bad thing, and they deserve, you know, in a way, to be canceled. But if you cancel everyone that has a wrong belief, then there'll be nobody left. It's better to actually give some, make people understand, you know, in a gentle way. So, you know, he was able to give that letter and show them, oh yeah, no, I know these people. And he was able to change the way his behavior was. So I feel like that's a much better way to handle it. Like, then, I think that people don't understand that, like I grew up in a really, a very, like, low income neighborhood, and there was a lot of slurs, like, all over the place. And, but, you know, but back in the day, you wouldn't cancel someone on Twitter. You would just learn to be their friend and learn to make understanding between them. So it was a different time in my day than it is today, where you would just cancel everyone. You would more like show them how they're wrong and help them change. That was kind of what it was back in the 90s or whatever. Alright, I'm done talking about it.
Okay. 1st of November, Sholmes Suite. We're back! Hello, you two. Oh, Iris.
I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for all of us.
Ah, so that's what the delicious smell is. Greetings, my dear fellows!
Oh, the blue hair!
You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Say nothing, your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application.
Oh my!
Pray tell, what of your warden friend? Have you garnered any new information? Oh, yeah, something very surprising, in fact, though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest.
It most certainly isn't, but still, we discovered that... Oh, Sholmes!
Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes. There is more important stuff here.
Gina?
Yeah, what? I can't believe it.
What happened?
Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever.
It's the boss.
What do you mean, Inspector Gregson?
The boss is... He's dead.
What? What?
They just found his body. Shot with a pistol.
What? Nani?
But... Inspector Gregson?
But he was murdered?
No, not Gregson.
Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Oh my gosh. Not Gregson.
I can't believe it's Gregson.
Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was... He really was shot?
I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're just still there investigating the scene.
Where did this all take place?
A little rented room in a building full of flats in Fresno Street.
The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then?
The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing, and no cases around there.
Oh, how strange.
The boss was... He was so good to me. I know I ain't too much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd become a proper detective. How can he?
The culprit. So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is?
They got him already.
Already?
They caught the shooter so soon?
A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of him.
Who? What awful person did this?
I still can't believe it myself.
Jaina.
It was the raper.
What? Wait a minute, you don't mean they arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it?
That's right. The raper bloke's gone and shot the boss.
No.
Oh my gosh! No
What?
way! I don't believe this. This is insane.
Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Baron Van Zeeks the police have arrested?
I saw him with my own eyes in the interview room at the yard. I don't believe it, Gina. But there were witnesses, and they're all saying it was him. So you mean there were actual multiple witnesses? Maybe they framed him. They heard the gunshot, apparently, and when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper bloke in the room.
But there's no way Lord Van Zeeks would have taken Gregson's life. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I feel like he's innocent. Lord Van Zeeks is very honest.
Thank you for informing us, Miss Lestrade. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry.
What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyways, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please, come and all as soon as you can. You gotta help. Poor Gina.
It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming, huh? How could it let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson! Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. I can't believe they killed Gregson. Inspector Gregson dead, and Lord Van Zeeks arrested?
Bruno, Susie! I've called you Hudson. It was waiting outside.
Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Miss Susie?
Yes.
Oh, off we go. New location has been added. Prison. What in the world? 1st of November, local prison. Cell number 1.
Oh, great. Now we probably have to defend him.
He's Edgeworth. It's the Edgeworth thing all over again. Like, you know where Edgeworth had a gun and he didn't kill the person?
Yeah.
I bet you Baron Van Zeeks just arrived and he was already dead or something.
Yeah.
He's a vampire, but he's not all bad.
So it's true. He really was arrested.
He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zeeks! What? Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But...
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but I must disagree.
What?
Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him at the very least. We owe it to him to find the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigation, please.
There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This. The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance.
Oh, who might that be?
Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hairbrain. Oh, of course. I keep forgetting they went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in peace, so let us get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words, but they seem to be have less of a bite to them than usual somehow.
He's depressed. He's in prison.
I look very depressed. What happened?
I would be.
Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? What happened? How much do you already know?
Oh, we know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street.
And that you were found there by the police when you arrived at the scene immediately and were arrested.
We were told that there was nobody else in the room, and that some witnesses heard the gunshot.
Then you were well informed, and there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened to myself. But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehending by the arrival of the officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened?
If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with, Lord Van Zieks?
I don't need to answer that.
Oh!
After all, you're not representing me. He's gonna need a lawyer, though. Who's gonna represent you?
You are, Luke.
Of course I am. Who's gonna be representing you in court then, dude? Dude? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Ah.
Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet?
Defense lawyers shy away from the trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, all of the defendants I prosecuted, only 19 have been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now.
Surely not!
I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me in the end with the pole. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you?
No, you didn't.
It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems that it seems things may come to a head before I have a chance to uncover the truth about that. What does he mean by that? Okay. And after the trial, the Professor Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it would seem. Your stooped little Nipponese friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yeah, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo.
So Professor Hairbrain is safely back in Germany now.
Yes, yes. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zieks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. You trust me, do you? Yep. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another man's life. It's just, My feelings can't be used as evidence in court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer, however. I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nipponese. But please!
Doesn't
No!
trust you.
I have no intention of engaging your services. The chasm between us just got way too wide, too deep, it seems. Yeah, but Edgeworth said no, too. I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time. Wow. Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened to Inspector Gregson.
Poor Mr. Gregson, Inspector Gregson. And thanks for all the Fs in the chat for Inspector Gregson, guys. That was a good idea, OH. Thanks. We did Fs in the chat.
Yep. Alright, so go back to...
Poor Gregson! R.I.P.
Alright, guys, that's gonna do it for today.
I can't believe he's
Yeah,
gone.
they killed Gregson. It's terrible. It's so bad. Okay, so we change that over. Alright, people. That is going to do it for your episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, case number 8, chapter 1.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. Join us next time as we track down information about Gregson's killer and head to the scene of the crime with Gina, probably. Find out what's going on. This twist is very similar to what happened in the original Ace Attorney game with Miles Edgeworth, where he was put on trial for murder. A crime that he didn't commit. So the reason why, again, why these Ace Attorney games are, the great Ace Attorney ones are so interesting is because they are borrowing a lot of story beats and plots from the original Ace Attorney trilogy, except, you know, doing it a little bit differently. Having the main character be on trial, then having, the only one who hasn't been on a trial yet is Susie. Susie hasn't been arrested for murder or anything like that, which is good. But the Edgeworth character, Lord Van Zeeks, definitely is in hot water. So, but I have a feeling it's all going to tie back to the case of the Hound of the Baskervilles or something like that, because Gregson was around during that time too. Seems like maybe people might be, you know, putting some loose ends to rest or something. But yeah, leave your you know, RIP stuff for Gregson. And we'll see you with more Ace Attorney tomorrow. There's another stream happening in just a little bit for Sonic to be at 8 o'clock or maybe 7:45. Need to check the internet, see what's going on, because we did have some issues with our program. So,
Sorry.
all right, people. Thanks so much for doing. Anyway, people, thanks so much for watching, and see you on Sonic in a little bit. God bless and happy gaming.
See ya.